What's good, YouTube? It's Jay here, and today we're going to be talking about something that's a little bit more personable. What I kind of wanted to do before I started doing YouTube and streaming on Twitch. As we all know, I do YouTube content and I do streaming content. I just dropped a deck of Yu-Gi-Oh cards on the floor, and it's something that I've realized is my true passion in life. I love doing it. I love making videos on pretty much anything, Star Wars stuff, IRL stuff, Yu-Gi-Oh, whatever you want to call it. But that always wasn't my initial goal when I really got started in my adult life. When I turned 18, well, all right, let's start it off like this. For one, this entire video is like gonna be personal. We're gonna be talking about what I wanted to do in life and so forth. But before we do all that, be sure to leave a like on the video, sub to the channel, all those shenanigans. Now, without further ado, when I turned 18, I was ready for college. I just left my architecture and design high school. I didn't really have an architecture design, any ideas like that in mind. I was kind of considering going to college for architecture and design at first because I was really good at designing buildings and overall just being a really good artist. I love drawing. I still love drawing to this day, actually, and I love just cityscapes. I like working with cities. I like designing buildings for cities. I play a lot of city skylines for that exact reason, etc. But that was my initial goal when I was leaving high school. But going into college, I kind of drifted into more of the computer science fields because I really couldn't find too many scholarships at the college I was going to, which was Bowling Green State University. I couldn't find too many majors or scholarships or anything related to architecture and design going into that school, unfortunately, which kind of sucked because I really wanted to do something with architecture and design. No regrets. But ultimately, I ended up choosing computer science because I figured, well, I'm a pretty tech savvy guy. Maybe I can get into the whole coding thing and learn a little bit about that field and just kind of, get to grow myself within that area because it's a well-paying position or a well-paying field. And I thought it'd be pretty fun. It'd be very relatable to what I was doing in life. Well, that didn't go exactly as planned. I started off, moved off to college, did a few years of that. And I want to say for the first couple of years, I really didn't get too deep into the coding aspect of everything. Lots of, I forgot what the word you want to call it. Lots of like extra classes you got to take when you go to colleges, most colleges in America. Just like those, what is it? I forgot what it's called. But those classes that you have to take basically just for the credits and whatnot to meet the credit amount, which was, I believe, 40. I don't remember what the credit total was for graduating at BGSU, but I believe it might have been 40. But regardless, the first few years of my college career, I spent doing nothing really related to the whole programming, coding lifestyle. It was just a lot of extra classes, a lot of side math classes, literature classes, etc. All the extra things that I really didn't need on paper. A lot of people said that math was really relatable to coding, which I guess in philosophically speaking it is. You're trying to solve a problem. That's the whole point of coding. You're trying to solve a problem. Same with math. You're trying to solve a problem. I used to do a ton of XML coding in high school for Star Wars Empire War and a few other games. And that's kind of where I got my feet wet with it and realized I might want to do that as a career in college. And boy, was I wrong. I spent my first few years of college doing CS, and when I finally started getting to the nitty-gritty of the classes, I was reaching a point in my life where things were getting really stressful. I had some family stuff kind of going on and a bunch of other things. And it made studying in those classes a little bit harder, and it was harder to pay attention. The usual spiel when you get to that certain point in college. I was drinking a lot of caffeine. I wasn't really eating to the best of my abilities, or the right way rather. And it just kind of started going downhill from there. I spent a lot of time in the classes studying, trying to learn from the other teachers, the other students, etc. But by the time that I think I want to say the fall of 2018 rolled around, I was considering dropping out, honestly. I was fed up with that point. I was fed up at that point with everything with college, everything that I had going on IRL. I was fed up with it. I was tired of it. Mostly because of the math classes. I struggled very, very hard in college-based math classes. I just could not get a grasp of them. Finally managed to pass a few of them, the ones that I needed to pass anyway, and I was done with math forever. To this day, I haven't touched the subject. But what made it kind of go downhill was I just realized I did not like coding. It wasn't interesting. The teachers didn't make it interesting. And a lot of the teachers, sometimes, honestly, I don't really care if this is disrespectful. They just did not seem like they knew how to teach. A lot of my colleagues or peers, whatever you want to call it, got a lot of their coding knowledge from other people that already had graduated or had done the classes. I tried to do the same thing. I definitely did a little bit of it, but at a certain point, I realized that I was just struggling so bad that I just constantly needed help with almost the simplest of tasks for each of the new classes I was taking. It got bad. It got really bad. Lots of trying to figure out how to do anything. I just couldn't get a grasp of it anymore. I just lost my flow with it. And when I started realizing that I wasn't enjoying it anymore, that's really where I just kind of stopped giving a shit about it after a while. Come, I want to say the fall of 2018 or the spring of 2019, I eventually would go to change my major to liberal studies. We'll get to that in a second. I spent that final semester in 2019 trying coding one more time, and I realized I was not going to be graduating probably for another 2 years. I was already a super senior by this point. I probably wasn't going to be graduating for another 2 years at that point, which sucked. But it sucked so bad because I really wanted to try to push it forward, try to get a job in this field, which where I know you can make a lot of money in, but it just didn't work out, unfortunately. I did have a few interviews and stuff. I tried to intern at a few different companies that I won't name, but unfortunately I just never got picked by them. They either picked people that were more qualified, or maybe I just didn't meet their particular standards, which sucked, but it is what it is. I wasn't really upset about it at the end of the day. That's just life, you know. There are going to be people that may or may not be potentially better at your job, and that's just a reality I kind of had to accept. But at this point, man, like I tried for so many years at multiple job fairs to find that one job that could help me kind of really get my footing in this field. And just never happened, unfortunately. And then one of the companies that I had interviewed at a lot told me I was very tenacious, or I didn't really give up. I was never the type of person to give up. But they told me that year after year after year, and I'm just like, at one point, hey, are you guys gonna give me a damn job or not? Stop complimenting me and give me a damn job. But unfortunately, I just never got that really figured out. I just couldn't find my footing in the coding world. And when I got to some of the classes in my super senior year of college, whew, they just got worse, man. I had a few teachers that just didn't know how to write notes. They didn't know how to really talk about the subject. They just kind of expected me to know everything. Granted, I'm a senior at that point, so I probably should be knowing, you know, what I'm doing. But again, you know, I just reached a point where I just didn't care about the major anymore. I was struggling, trying to push through with it, do all the typical things, pray about it, etc. But there just came a point where I realized, yeah, I hate this and I want to change it. So eventually I did change my major. I did change it to liberal studies. I spent basically 5 years of college trying to do something in the coding world, and it ultimately didn't really go anywhere. I don't have any regrets aside from the like 75 grand in debt that I have right now. Otherwise, you know, that's just how life is. So now, as far as how I got into the whole streaming and YouTubing thing, I discovered esports in probably 2017, I believe it was. I started watching CSGO in that year, and by 2018, I was going to COD Champs. The fall of 2018, I was going to COD Champs, so I went to COD Champs in 2019 too. But yeah, I kind of realized, like, damn, I actually really love this area. And so I started really getting into more PC gaming. I started streaming in 2018, I believe. I remember streaming Black Ops 4. I believe it was Black Ops 4, 2018 or early 2019, one of the two. I think it was 2019. It was 2019 because BO4 had just released in the fall of 2018. So I started streaming that game heavily, really grinding and putting in the effort to make content. I bought my first pre-built gaming PC, which is now my streaming PC, funny enough. And I just started really putting in the effort to really make more quality content. The YouTube channel didn't really blow up immediately until maybe, I want to say, the fall of 2019, going into 2020 during the whole pandemic thing, I think. I don't remember. But there was a point I hit where I just realized, like, damn, I love this. So I started making more videos, I started streaming more, and I started putting out more content, and low-key neglecting all of the other things that were kind of happening in my life, including college-related things. And at that point, I was fed up with college. I was ready to go. At that point, I didn't care if I dropped out or if I graduated. Unfortunately, I never got to walk the stage either because the pandemic started right after COVID, or the pandemic started right after I graduated, which was in the fall of 2019. The only reason I didn't walk in the fall is because I was afraid it was going to be winter out, or it was going to be wintry, snowy. The conditions in Ohio can get pretty damn bad during the winter, so I didn't want family to try to travel to where I was in order to, you know, to see me walk the stage pretty much. Nobody had tried to plan anything. Everybody told me I probably should have tried to plan it, and I'm just like, dude, Like, what do you want out of me? You know, I can't plan everything. I can't plan my own graduation party for like I couldn't do every single damn thing, you know. But that's neither here or there. You know, do I have any regrets about any of it? Not really. I really wish when I went to college, I knew what I was going to be getting into or what I wanted to do before I put in all the money and the sweat and the effort. But I guess it's just life. You just never know what's going to happen in life, especially when it comes to trying to find a job and whatnot. So I don't really have any regrets aside from the financial struggles. Yeah, overall, I mean, I've had a pretty happy life for the most part and a pretty good life. I definitely want to keep pushing with the YouTube and Twitch life. I want to make this my career, something I can live off of, make money off of, enjoy with stress-free pretty much, like a lot of my other fellow content creators. And a lot of the people that watch this channel have really been helping me towards that goal, and I really appreciate all of you. So, yeah, I initially wanted to go to college for architecture and design, ended up going for coding, changed it to liberal studies, and for those that do not know what liberal studies is, it's basically a get out of college major. It holds no real relevance in the job world. There's no real, it's a degree. It's a degree. It's not a very specialized degree, but it's a degree nonetheless. And here we are now. Started doing the whole YouTube streaming, the influencer, quote unquote, content creation drive, and I'd say it's been a pretty fun one so far. I want to keep pushing, I want to keep grinding and keep doing what I've been doing. The channel's really been growing, especially the last couple of weeks too. We're almost at 3K subs. I've been making more variety, Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, Star Wars stuff, you know, you name it pretty much. I've been doing a lot of different stuff on the channel, and I'd say it's been marginally successful for the most part. Just trying to find constantly something new to do or to innovate with. It can be difficult, but I'm doing a good job, I think. So that's pretty much how we got where we are right now, guys. If you have any questions that you want me to answer for a future video, I might do a little Q&A video. Let me know in the comment section down below. And yeah, we'll talk about some more personal things in my life. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Be sure to leave a like on it, sub to the channel for more content. I used to say for Star Wars content, and then I started switching it to Star Wars and gaming content. Now I'm just gonna say content. Sub to the channel for more content, guys. And again, thanks for watching. I'll see you later.